And to help piece this all together, I'm joined by Fred Teng, president of the America-China Public Affairs Institute. Welcome back to the show. First, your reaction to China's white paper on the South China Sea and then the moves that followed it.
Right. I think that I read the white paper. I think that in it states China's case, so it looks like they're posturing. But really, if you're looking at the title of the white paper, which I wrote it down, it's quite long. It's called China Adheres to the Position of Settling Through the Negotiation of the Relevant Disputes. So the key word is really settling and through negotiation. And I think that now that the Philippines has the court ruling on one paper, and China will have this, and then they will be talking to each other using this as kind of a basis for both sides.
I want to get your reaction to that in just a moment. But first, what do you think will happen next in the South China Sea? Do you think we'll see any changes or any actions at all following this result? Will anything change at all?
Well, any type of these tribunal arbitrations, it's very hard to have enforcement of the decision unless you send military, which is not going to happen. I do not think that we'll see big changes at this point. I think that over time, hopefully with the new president of Philippines, China and Philippines can really negotiate all these terms, and it's about give and take and have a peaceful settlement between the two countries.
Where do you think China-Philippine relations stand or could go at this point?
Like I said, with the new president, Mr. Duterte, I think that even before the election, he's been having a much friendlier gesture to China. And hopefully the relationship between him and President Xi will, if they meet or they can improve. This is just one of the issues. I mean, there are hundreds of territorial disputes all over the world. I mean, 90% of the countries are involved. But the thing is, let it rest. It's better to make it rise and become confrontational.
What do you think this result does to China's standing in the world? Do you think that there could be different perceptions now of China by the international community or not at all?
Well, even before this, I think there are certain countries come out and fully support China, and some countries say China has to adhere to the ruling, and some people stay neutral. But I think all of the countries do not want to see any arms conflict between any country, because they will not do any good to anyone. So everybody's really hope for a peaceful resolution to this issue.
What are some of the biggest questions you're hearing from various people that you talk to about what happened with this result?
Like I said, I think that as I talk to a lot of people in the U.S. Department and the Chinese government, and if you read all of the statements from the U.S. State Department, from the China, they all call for peaceful resolution. Nobody call for war or anything like that. And I think that it's more of the netizen who is really going rallying and so forth. And I think that I'm pretty confident. Yesterday morning when I landed in Washington, D.C., I start reading the paper. I was very worried. But by 4:30 last night, after the whole day of conference with many different countries and also Ambassador Cui's speech and all the question and answer, I feel very confident. I think that this matter will slowly quiet down and then let the two parties, which is China and Philippines, to settle their dispute.
We're seeing the RIMPACT exercises off the coast of Hawaii, right. China, the U.S. taking part. A different kind of diplomacy there, right? I mean, despite everything that's...
That shows to prove that actually U.S. and China is working well in many, many different areas. From time to time, there will be a hiccup, there will be a disagreement. And even this, United States is not really a party to this. The dispute is really between Philippines and China. And I do not think that United States want to be too aggressive into this area. Yeah.
All right, Fred Teng, as always, we appreciate your insight. Thank you for joining us here on the show.
Thank you.